Hey everyone, CJ Lang here for thefantasyauthority.com. I am here to give you your Dynasty League buy and sells for week 1 of the 2020 NFL season. Starting off in Jacksonville, James Robinson, running back. As we all know, Leonard Fournette was cut about 2 weeks ago. He recently signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but that left a giant hole in the running back depth chart for the Jaguars. Raquel Armstead looked to be the guy to fill that slot, but he was just put on the COVID-19 list. Divine Ozigbo, another man who's going to step up, just went on IR for a hamstring. The team did just sign Derrick Williams from the Buccaneers after they signed Fournette, but they added Robinson, and he is in line for the lead back role to start the season. Chris Thompson is there, but he's going to be mixed in mostly on passing downs. This is a great opportunity for the rookie out of Illinois State, who was a 2019 FCS All-American and was a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, which, for those of you who don't know, is the FCS's version of the Heisman Trophy. You need to add Robinson now, because if he blows up, you will not be able to add him later. Moving on, Derrick Williams, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs just released DeAndre Washington, giving Williams the number 2 slot on the depth chart behind rookie sensation Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There is a good chance that Williams will get playing time early on, as I'm not sure how much faith Andy Reid has in CEH for passing protecting that $500 million quarterback. Williams also has a history of short yardage work, and he has been decent in pass pro, so he could vulture some goal line carries and protect Mahomes. He's definitely worth a buy in Dynasty leagues, especially as the number 2 back in a high-powered offense. Last buy, MVS, Marquez ValdesScanning, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. In 2019, MVS got off to a super hot start, had almost 500 yards in his first 7 games, and then poof. He disappeared. From week 8 until the end of the year, he only had 36 receiving yards. That's no bueno. He had a great offseason per reports, and he did earn the number 3 wide receiver spot behind Devontae Adams and Allen Lazard. He definitely has the ability, and he has a competent quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, so I think the 25-year-old wide receiver could have a great year in order to erase the horrendous second half of the 2019 season. And it's always good to have guys on your squad who are attached to good quarterbacks. For my Dynasty sells, I'm going to start off with Big Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last season, there was a lot of retirement rumors flying around Big Ben. He played, and then 2 weeks later, he went on injured reserve with an elbow injury. The 38-year-old quarterback has been bruised and battered in his 16 years in the league, and I'm not exactly sure how much longer he has. Will the Steelers throw that much, or will they rely on that running game surrounded by James Conner and those young running backs? Ben does have the possibility of throwing 500,000 yards every single season. He has a great receiving core in Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson, James Washington. They drafted Chase Claypool, and they added a legit pass-catching tight end, Eric Ebron. If I were you, I would sell Big Ben if you can to a win-now team and hope that you can get some assets in youth for all your trouble. Next up, Jordan Howard, running back in the Miami Dolphins. It seems like forever ago when Howard was leading the Bears in rushing. After a stop in Philly, Howard now leads the Miami Dolphins backfield alongside Matt Breida. The 25-year-old is a solid running back who can definitely punch it in from the goal line. His pass-catching numbers, though, have diminished each year. In 2017, he had 23 catches, 2018, 20 catches, and last year he only had 10 catches. I definitely would not be propping him up as a stud PPR back, but you can probably convince some trade partners that he has that ability and that he's capable of that. He also missed the last 9 games of the year last season with a shoulder injury, so I think it's time to sell him before he gets hurt and loses all that value. Especially with the Dolphins having a lot of high draft picks next year and some great running backs coming out, I would not be surprised if the Dolphins added a running back in the first or second round of the 2021 draft. Our last and final sell for week 1 is Will Fuller. Will Fuller is an every week boomer bust candidate. He's either going to give you 5 to 7 receptions or 1. He isn't exactly the model of consistency. Yet the Texans decided to part ways with perennial Pro Bowl wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. They brought in Brandon Cooks from the Rams. Fuller will share a wide receiver room with Kenny Stills, Cooks, and Kiki Kuti. They don't have a top 15 tight end there, so use that to your advantage in trade talks. Cooks is probably also one concussion away from having to end his career, and Stills isn't anything super special. So if Fuller becomes Deshaun Watson's go-to guy at the beginning of the year, definitely sell him before the injury bug hits him, and let that other owner deal with deciding whether to start him each and every week. So those are the Dynasty buy and sells for week 1 of the 2020 NFL season. Make sure to come to thefantasyauthority.com for all your Dynasty, redraft, and DFS needs. You can find me on Twitter at Clubber_Lang83 and Facebook and Instagram at CJ Lang. Catch you later.